Good morning, folks. Welcome to Chicago's O'Hare Airport, airport code ORD. ORD, why the heck ORD? That's kind of a strange airport code. Well, let me tell you a story about this airport. It's named after a famous Navy World War II Medal of Honor winner by the name of O'Hare Airport. Early in World War II, the U.S. needed a hero. Well, the U.S. was losing battle after battle in the Pacific, and finally came the early in the war was a battle called Guadalcanal. And in Guadalcanal, O'Hare shot down a couple of airplanes and became a Medal of Honor winner, and his name was quickly adopted for this airport as the U.S. was looking for a hero. But before that, this airport was located in a place called Orchard Park, Illinois. So ORD is actually short for Orchard, and that's where the code comes from. Anyway, welcome to ORD. Got to see some passengers there in the terminal. The jet bridge is attached. The airplane is cold and dark. The only thing done to it so far is attach the jet bridge and get some external power on it. But other than that, it's just waiting for our flight down to Orlando today. Why Orlando? Well, it's Sunday morning, and all sorts of travelers are waiting to take their kids down to Disney World. You know, back in the day, you might spend a day at Disneyland, maybe two. Now you spend a week or 2 weeks. So Sunday's a really good day to travel down to Florida. Anyway, you can see we have ground power attached. Let's go to our next page. Fuel truck. We can get a fuel truck here. Let's how much fuel do we need? We need 11,784 on the fuel. So let's give her 12,000 kilos. Just a little for insurance. And we'll request a fuel truck. Here she comes. First thing the fuel truck will do is establish a connection with the underground reservoir. Kind of a misnomer to call it a fuel truck. It's more of a pumper truck. It's going to pump fuel from the underground reservoir. Now it's going to open a small panel underneath the wing. Not sure if we'll be able to see that small panel open up. And fuel truck actually doesn't carry fuel, but it transfers fuel. There's the panel opened up. And then it transfers fuel by the small line into the aircraft. So we're looking for 12,000 kilos, and we'll start. Don't see any fueling going on. What's going on here? I wonder why we're not fueling. I don't think it's because the jet bridge is attached. just disconnected the jet bridge to see if that would make a difference. I don't think it would. I'll stop, and then we'll start. Nope, no fuel is flowing. Well, this is frustrating. Oh, here we are. Oh my goodness. Yes, we are fueling. Okay. I had me going there a little bit. I didn't even think to look at this screen. But you can see the fuel levels are starting to rise. And now I'm wondering if during the fueling process I should be able to get the baggage process started. Don't you think? I should be able to. So let's go to the... well, before we get the baggage, let's open up the baggage doors. Number 1 entry door is open. We'll open up the cargo forward and the cargo aft. Ground services. And we'll request a forward loader and an aft loader. And you can see that we have 3894 is what we're planning on loading for cargo. And you can see our cargo number is 3894. So we're all set for that. Let's request forward loader and cart. Request aft loader and cart. And here they come, as promised. And I guess they don't have a problem at all with loading while fueling. Of course, we don't want to load passengers while fueling. And it's generally not a good idea to run over the fuel hose there, buddy. We're going to have to talk to your supervisor about that. Connecting the forward conveyor. And start. Start the forward loading. Here comes the aft cart. Connecting the aft cart, you can see the numbers tick up for that forward cargo. And we'll start loading on the aft. Great. Let's go back to that fuel page. 28%. That's 28% of the full aircraft. I don't think it's 28% of our fuel load. But it is changing our zero fuel weight, and it will certainly change our center of gravity. So we're going to wait until the boarding process is, or the, actually both, the loading of the baggage, cargo, fuel, and passengers before we work any performance numbers. Passenger number today is 112. So we'll put that in. But we don't want to start loading the passengers until the fuel's aboard. And verify that number. Yes, 112 passengers. But I can load passengers with the baggage still loading, but I do want to get that fuel aboard. We're loading to 12,000 kilos, so we're beyond the halfway point. I can power up the rest of the aircraft, however. So let's turn, we have ground power available, let's get ground power. Turn the battery on. Check for 24 volts on the battery, 28 volts coming to the bus, and from the ground power we are getting 115 volts AC, 28 volts DC. That's fine. Our position light is on. That's the only light that's on. Wipers are off, APU is not running, fuel pumps are off. Cross-feed valve is closed. On. Valve open bright. Valve open dim. Off. Valve open bright. Valve open off. Displays to auto and normal. Navigation to normal. Yaw damper is off until the APU is started. Spoilers are on. Flight controls are on auto. Alternate flaps are off. Leading edge flaps and slats tested and okay. Left IRS system, align and then nav. Right IRS system, align and then nav. We'll spin this lower dial, tell us how long we need to wait for the aligning process. 8 minutes, that's fine. Service interphone is off. Dome light can be turned on. On our number 3 radio, the microphone is set up to the pilot flying number 1 side. We'll turn the speakers for the nav 1 radio on and the marker on. Flight recorder is to normal. Do a Mach airspeed warning on system number 1. System number 2. Mach airspeed warning test is fine. We're going to hold off on the stall warning test until later on. Passenger masks are closed and wired. Should you open that, your flight will immediately end if you deploy all the oxygen masks there in the back. Crew oxygen is fine, and we're indicating 3 down and locked up here at the top. Electrical bus power is coming from the ground right now. Standby power, disconnect. Disconnect. Circuit breakers, panel lights are up. Exhaust and cooling are normal. Arm the emergency exits so the flight attendants or anyone else aboard can find their way out of the airplane. Leave the seatbelt sign off until we're done fueling. Turn the chimes on. Test the attend button. Test the ground call button. Pressure differential is 0 because we are vented to the atmosphere. Cockpit voice recorder test. It should take less than 5 seconds to illuminate this light. 1, 2, 3. That cockpit voice recorder test is okay. Forward entry doors open, cargo doors are open, hydraulics are not on the aircraft, wing anti-ice, engine anti-ice are off, pitot-static heat is off. We'll leave that off until we're pushed from the gate because those surfaces can become hot and injure personnel outside. We can turn on the windscreen heat. Voice recorder is to auto, that's fine. Temperatures throughout the cabin, 28 degrees, 28 degrees, 26 degrees, 25 degrees. We're between 25 and 28 degrees throughout the aircraft, which is fine. Cabin temperatures are set to automatic. The air conditioning packs right now are turned off. Our initial climb altitude will probably be in the neighborhood of 8,000 feet. I don't know what the altitude here in Chicago is, so let's find out, just in case we need to return to this airport. If we need to return, it would be nice to have that pressure setting already dialed in. Well, I'm not finding the. I'll find the altitude here, and any one of these plates will have it. Airport elevation 680. Touchdown zone 669. Okay. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave this here. I want to use that here in just a bit. So 680. So we'll put this up to 700 just in case we need to come back. Great. Upstairs looks good. How are we doing on our fueling? $11,972, and I bet he's stopped right there. It's pretty close to 12,000, so the pump man has stopped his fueling. Let's release the fuel truck. He's saying 1201. That's fine. Detached from the wing, he'll close the little door. And let's see how we're doing on our... we have all of our baggage aboard, so we'll release all the trucks. Let's close the access door. Baggage doors are closed. Get the jet bridge reattached. Upstairs is looking good. Let's brakes to rejected takeoff. And to get the MCP set up, we need to get a clearance. Oh, it's not what I wanted. Here's our air traffic control program and our routing of flight. Dennett, Darcy, Dregs, Dumage, SCO, Swap, Q79 Airway, Thirst, Z-Jax, and then Orlando. We do not have a procedure for the departure. Here's our routing. We do have the Grinch 3 arrival in Orlando. So let's add in the Grinch 3 arrival. To runway 36 right. Runway 36 right. We're looking for the Grinch 3 and our transition on to Grinch. I didn't look. What was the transition? Is Z-Jax. Z-Jax. Okay, there's Z-Jax. There's the transition, and we'll load it in. Great. On the approach, we're looking for the ILS to runway 36. We don't need a transition. We'll load that in. We'll validate. Oh, got to connect first.
O'Hare Airport information, India 1200. O'Hare.
And file. Our flight plan is now filed. Let's finish up work on our we haven't even started work on our haven't even started work on our flight management computer. So we'll go to flight management computer. We are in a Boeing 737-800 model. Engines are rated at 26,000 pounds of thrust. Our AirAx cycle is expired. Oh, that's a shame. Position initialization. We are at KORD. Oops, didn't like that. Oh, gotta put a K in there. Haha. And I don't know what our gate number is. Not going to worry about it too much. Next page gives us some GPS coordinates. We'll grab one of those. Doesn't matter which. We'll plug it in. We are off to the land of the mouse. Orlando, Florida. We are United Airlines flight number 43. And here's where it gets to be kind of fun. Dent, D-E-N-N-T, to Darcy, D-A-R-C, Y to dregs, DREGS, to doomg, DUMGE, to Scoto, SCOTO, to swap, SWAPP, and then on the Q79 airway, doesn't like the Q79 airway. Well, that's okay. To thruster, THRSR, thruster's not in the database. Interesting. To ZJAX, ZJAYX. Not in the database. That is strange. ZJAYX. That ought to be in the database. Okay. Depart. No SID, and we want to leave on runway 22 left. Arrive, and we're looking to arrive on runway 36 right by the Grinch 3. ILS to 36 right on the Grinch. Maybe that's the reason. The AirAx cycle and the aircraft has not been updated to the current cycle, and the transition probably won't be in here. You're saying tramp. Okay. Activate and execute. Let's look at the legs here. DIT, Darcy, Dregs, Dumaj, Scoto, Swap, and a big discontinuity before we get to Grinch. So let's move Grinch to the lead position.
JetBlue 1561.
1561, standby. It's going to be a full route.
I'm going to get rid of that vector.
JetBlue 1561, ready to copy. Standby, please.
And that should be fine. We'll do initial performance initiation request from the dispatch office. Oh, we're not getting anything. Okay. Cost index is 46. Zero fuel weight should be 54.5. Oh, yeah, we don't have passengers aboard yet, so that's why that's not quite there. Why don't we go ahead and load our passengers? The aircraft is Wi-Fi equipped. We have an entertainment system. We can play some boarding music. And we have a custom safety brief. Very shortly in the background, you'll hear the pitter-patter of little feet. Let's go to our menu page. Simulator actions, ground services. Next page. Next page. And 112 passengers. The jet bridge is attached. Let's start the boarding. Reserves today are 2.2, and I forget what cost index is 46. Cruise altitude 30,000 feet. Cruise wind. Top of climb winds are 290 at 51, ISO deviation of -1. 290 at 51. Transition altitude 18,000 feet, that's fine. No D-rate on the takeoff. Is that 18 correct for the outside temperature?
O'Hare Airport information, India 1 tree, 00 Zulu. Wind tree 19er at tree. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, 2,600 feet, scattered 4,100 feet, scattered 13,100 feet, scattered. Temperature, 19er. Dew point, 1 tree. QNH 29er, decimal 9er 1. ILS runway 27 right, ILS runway 27 left, ILS runway 28 center, ILS runway 28 right, and ILS runway 28 left in use. Landing and departing runway 27 right runway, 27 left runway, 28 center runway, 28 right, and runway 28 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back home short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have India.
Okay, we were 1 degree off on the temperature. We took care of that. Takeoff, 5 degrees of flaps. We're going to hold off on our center of gravity until we get our weight correct. And other than that, that's looking pretty good. Let's go back up and get our clearance. How about a clearance, Clarence?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in the front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bin. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you. If the overhead bin is full, please make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear and other passengers can make their way to their seats. If you're in an emergency exit row, please leave exit seating responsibilities in the car.
Flight director's on.
If you're not able to comply with these actions, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be received. Feel free to use your cell phones during the rest of the boarding process, but we do ask that laptops, tablets, and any other larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the station. Thank you and welcome aboard.
O'Hare clearance delivery. United 4-3, ready to copy.
United 4-3 is cleared to Kilo Mike Charlie Oscar as filed. Expect departure runway 22 left. Climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. departure on 126.62. Squawk 5104.
United 43 is cleared to Kilo Mike Charlie Oscar is filed. Climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Departure on 126.62. Squawk 5104.
United 43 rearback correct. Altimeter is 3014, contact ground on 118.05 when ready for pushback. Have a good morning.
Altimeter is 3014, ground on 118.05, United 43.
3014 on the altimeter setting. $5,000 feet on the climb out.
108 at 60 Alpha, ready to taxi with Bravo.
Jeffrey 108, 18228, taxi left Bravo, hold short whiskey.
Left Bravo, hold short whiskey to 22 right, JetBlue 108.
We'll put 5,000 in the pressure altitude for the automated pressure system. And 5104 on the transponder. (5104), and we're in standby on the TCAS system, traffic collision and avoidance system, and the transponder. Radio number 1. Microphone is set to the pilot flying side. We'll turn on the speakers for the nav and the marker beacon. Number 2 radio is set to the first officer's side. We'll turn on her nav 1 speaker and a marker beacon. And I think, let's see if we can check and see how our boarding process is going. (107), 108, we're almost there. 109, 110, great. Now I want to get a can we get a load sheet? Okay, I'm looking at the load sheet. Payload, dry weight, zero fuel weight. So now that we have our load sheet, we can finish our calculations. 55.8, that looks good. That'll give us a gross weight and a center of gravity. It's recommending flight level 375, but we're only going to 3,000. Let's execute that. No D-rate on the takeoff. We can calculate our center of gravity, 27.4, and our trim is 4.47. So let's move down to this trim wheel here and move that to 4.47. Looks like we're pretty much right on the dot as it is, right? Oh, a little lower. Oh, okay, wait. 4.47 would be about halfway between 4 and 5. Right there. Okay. And we can verify these V-speeds. 150, 141, 139, and that V-speed, 150, can go up into our MCP panel. Gotta find it first. 150 right here. Well, first officer, do you think it's time to run a checklist? How about a pre-flight checklist, if you please?
Pre-flight checklist. Passenger signs.
Oh, we can turn the passenger signs on now that fueling is done. Passenger sign is on.
On.
Flight instruments.
Flight instruments are checked.
Heading set, altimeter set.
Navigation and radios.
Set.
Radar and transponder.
Set.
Altimeters.
Set.
Power levers.
Closed.
Condition levers.
Cut off.
Parking brake.
Set.
Checklist complete.
Wonderful. Let's fire up the APU. Left aft fuel pump on. Anti-collision light on. APU switch to on. Meanwhile, I'll make an announcement to our folks while that's firing up.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, this is your captain speaking. Welcome on board our flight. We'll be departing soon and we're aiming for a smooth flight. Thanks for flying and we'll keep you informed of any changes as they happen.
Welcome aboard this United flight. United is a proud member of the Star Alliance network. Please make sure all carry-on items are securely stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. Customers in United Global First and United Business First must stow all items in an overhead or side storage compartment. Approved personal electronic devices may be used while parked at the gate with the boarding door open. We will advise you when they must be turned off and stowed prior to closing the boarding door. United Economy Plus seating is reserved for customers who have purchased those seats. If you are interested in purchasing an available Economy Plus seat, please ask a flight attendant for more details in flight. If you are seated in an exit row, please review the front of the safety card. If you cannot meet the standards or are unwilling or unable to perform the actions possibly reseating.
Okay, we can finish up the stall warning test we hadn't done earlier. Number 1 is fine. Still no number 2. We're going to hold off and come back to number 2. Let's do a test on the fire bottles for the APU and for the engines. That's fine. We'll test the fire detection system. That's fine. Well, now we'll do the actual fire test.
Cafe 65 Heavy, the British ops direction is going to get pushed into the alley there at Whiskey, so once he clears...
That's fine. We'll do a test for smoke in the cargo area. That's fine. And we'll do a ground proximity warning test.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
I will test the autopilot disconnect lights system number 1 on the pilot flying side. Oops, I'm sorry. That's the wrong switch. There we go. And system number 2. And test it for the first officer system number 1. And system number 2. That's fine. We'll do an annunciator light test. Every light in the house, every bulb, every element, every filament. Checking for missing bulb, missing LED sections. Every light, every bulb, every element should be lit. And annunciator light test is fine. And on my side, I will check the oxygen level for my mask. Hopefully the first officer will do the same for her side. And the oxygen level is fine and operating on the pilot flying side. We're getting pretty close. How about we... Let's see here. I like to have the legs page on the pilot flying side and the performance page on the first officer's side. Great. Check back here. No pop circuit breakers. Make sure the oxygen for the jump seat occupant is functioning, which it is. And we can test out the jump seat itself. Don't expect to have a jump seat passenger today, but just to make sure the seat works. It does. We can put that away. Check for required equipment. There's the crash axe. Here is the airworthiness certificate and the aircraft registration. Here's emergency supplemental breathing oxygen. We could check up here for the escape rope. Make sure it's attached and the rope is available. Check for spare fuses. Check our gravity-fed emergency landing gear release valves. They're unobstructed. Here's our landing gear pins. Now, the landing gear have pins already installed in them, but if we were to land off-field or at an airport unsuitable to a 737, we would have our own supply of landing pins just in case. And the last thing we'll check back here is the fire extinguisher. Make sure the fire extinguisher is reading in the green, and it is. So, all that is the rainbow check. Oh, the rainbow check, yeah. Start your eyes on the floor. Work your eyes in the shape of a rainbow down to the floor on the opposite side. And that is the rainbow check. We're looking pretty good. Have we disconnected the jet bridge? The jet bridge is still attached, so let's close that boarding door. Well, let me... Boarding door can be closed. Make sure the other doors are all closed. They are. And pull that jet bridge.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Understood.
He's going to go ahead and connect the tug. There goes the jet bridge.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
Confirm all ground checks complete. We're cleared to pressurize the hydraulics.
Once that check is completed, all doors and panels are closed. No issues found. You can pressurize your hydraulics anytime now.
Great. I don't see a tug connecting. Well, we might have to do this push without a tug. I don't know if we've ever had a push without a tug. Okay, let's ground services. Let's remove the chocks. O'Hare ground. United 4-3 requests pushback and engine start.
United 4-3 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. United 4-3.
Okay, are we ready for a engine start checklist. Let's do a before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Doors.
Closed.
Fuel. 11957 kilograms. Passenger signs.
Passenger signs are on.
On.
MCP. Heading 0. Altitude 0.
Set.
Takeoff speed.
Set.
FMS.
Completed.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Beacon light.
On.
Checklist complete.
We didn't do a taxi and takeoff briefing, however, so let's take care of that. We are here on the B concourse, and we're heading for runway 22 left.
Then cross at Whiskey, left Bravo. See, in the British JetBlue here, left Bravo, then at Whiskey Alpha, join Alpha, Ultra to Juliet.
So we're going to want a taxi.
All right, give way to the second JetBlue, then cross it. Whiskey, Bravo, Whiskey Alpha will join Alpha, hold short of Juliet.
Alpha 9 to Bravo, Bravo all the way around to Alpha, and then November all the way down to Victor for all the way down to Victor for 22 left. So November all the way down to Victor for 22 left. Around the concourse in Alpha, Alpha Bravo, Alpha, November, and then Victor. That is our taxi briefing. As far as our departure briefing, we don't have a specific departures. The O'Hare 7 is basically radar vectors off the airport. That's all there is. So, all aircraft cross 5.5 DME arc at or above 3,000. At 5 miles, you should be at 3,000. At 8 miles, above 4,000. Maintain 5,000 or assigned altitude, and that is the altitude that we were given, 5,000. And we're aiming for to comply with ATC as soon as possible. Okay, so there's no particular navigation fix to head to, just 5 DME and 8 DME, 4,000 and 5,000. So that is our taxi brief and our departure brief. We have clearance for push and start. Let's get the push.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Understood. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
JetBlue 108, Tulsa.
Probes.
All ground
you
equipment
can
is
come
clear.
on.
You can start the engines at your discretion.
To the screen for an important safety demonstration. Thank you for flying with us.
We're getting air pressure for the engine start. We can turn on the hydraulics. Let's select the number 2 engine and go to ground.
A320 airplane. We appreciate your complete attention to this important safety information. If you're seated in an exit row, you may be required to assist the crew in an emergency. If you're unable
We're getting
to
into
perform the
rotation.
functions described on the safety card, please advise the flight attendant for reseating at the end of this video.
To fasten your seatbelt, low and tight.
Here comes fuel to engine number 2.
Into the buckle. Tighten the belt by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release
Number
your
2
seatbelt,
engine
press
has
the buckle
fired.
flap. When the seatbelt sign is illuminated, immediately be seated and buckle up.
Fuel pumps can come on.
Safety, your seatbelt should be fastened
Taxi lights, runway turnoff lights can come on.
4 exit doors.
Logo
2 on
light,
each side
wing
of the
light can
airplane,
come on.
and 4 window exits located
Engine
over the
number
wing.
1
Each
select.
is equipped with an evacuation slide that
Engine number
automatically
1 to ground.
The push is complete. Please set the brakes.
Line overhead. Main doors open by moving a large handle.
Parking brake set.
Understood. Okay, the turbo is disconnected and the pin is out and equipment is clear.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks, have a good flight, and we'll see you later.
We're getting into rotation on engine number 1.
Away from the airplane. In the event of a water landing, main door slides can be detached from the airplane.
There's 20%, 25%. Fuel can be introduced to engine number 1.
Unless directed by a crew member. Look around to locate the 2 exits.
And engine number 1 has lit.
In an evacuation,
Let's let the engine stabilize.
A light
Flaps
vest
can go to
equipped with
5.
water-activated light is located under or near your seat. It can be identified by a red tab. Do not remove it unless directed by a flight attendant. If needed, pull the red tab to remove the vest. Tear open the pouch, remove and unfold the vest. To secure the vest, slip it over your head. Pull the straps from the back and attach the hooks to the ring in front. Pull the waist straps away from you
And
until they're
Roma
tightened at the
20
waist.
Heavy, look for new data on your CPDLC.
TCAS system can go into the TARA mode. Transponder is active.
Additional flotation is needed. Pull the second red tab. You can also inflate the vest by blowing into the tubes.
If needed, oxygen mask will drop from above your seat. To start the flow of oxygen, firmly pull a mask towards you to extend the plastic tubing. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic band over your head and tighten the straps as necessary. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen will flow to the mask. Secure your mask before helping others and continue using until directed by a crew member.
United Airlines is a non-smoking airline. U.S. law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying laboratory
Engines
smoke
are
detectors.
stabilized. Let's
US
do
law
a flight
also
control
requires
check.
customers to comply with all lighted signs, placards, and crew member instructions. Please ensure your carry-on items and tray tables are stowed, your seat back is in its full upright position, headrest stowed, and your seatbelt is securely fastened. Be sure that laptop computers, cell phones, and all personal electronics are turned off and properly stowed. If an emergency evacuation becomes
Elevator
necessary,
full forward,
bring all
full
carry-on
deflection,
items
no
behind.
binding. Elevator full aft, full deflection, no binding. Right aileron, full deflection, no binding. Left aileron, full deflection, no binding. Right rudder, full deflection, no binding. Left rudder, full deflection, no binding. First officer, it's your turn. And the first officer is doing the same. I'll check traffic. Here, we've got a catering truck right next to us here on the left, so I have to be careful of that. Looks like we've got company traffic here on our right. Chicago O'Hare ground. United Fortree requests taxi, runway 22 left. We just got her ready to go from the cabin.
United 43 taxi to runway to
I didn't hear that. Let's get that again. O'Hare ground. United Fortree requests taxi, runway 22 left.
United 43 taxi to runway 22 left via taxiways Alpha, Alpha 12, Mike 2, Mike, Delta, Old Sort runway 22 left.
Taxi to runway 22 left via taxiways Alpha, Alpha 12, Mike 2, Mike, Delta, hold short runway 22 left United 43.
Ground unit over 33,
Okay.
if you want to, about short L.
Release brakes. Little bit of throttle and we'll do a brake check. And continue on. Let's get around this concourse. How about a after start taxi checklist? How about a taxi checklist?
Taxi checklist. Electrical panel.
Check.
Fuel system.
Check.
Auto feather.
Auto feather. I don't know.
Prop sync.
Prop sync.
Hydraulic pumps.
Set.
Ice protection.
Set.
Pitot head.
On.
Pat.
Set.
Flight controls.
Check.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Checklist complete.
Yeah, that's quite a checklist. How about if we clean up the upstairs a little bit? PACX can come on. Isolation valve to auto. Dual bleed off. Power can come on to the generators. APU off. Then that should be pretty good. Okay, we got around the concourse. So now we're looking for that big long taxi down to Victor. You want to do a before takeoff checklist?
Before takeoff checklist. Flight director.
Set.
Flaps.
Set.
Hat.
Set.
Transponder.
Set.
Alarm panel.
Check.
Condition levers. Checklist complete. Now this guy is crossing a runway. I don't want to cross a runway. Okay, Southwest.
2690, continue to Kilo Echo and 123.9.
Continue 123.9, not 2690.
What is your intention, Southwest? Oh, I'm glad you're just crossing. I don't see you have a forward landing gear. That makes taxiing a little difficult. That must be the international part of the terminal. Beautiful airport. Payware Airport, by the way. Everything else is live. Live weather, live traffic, live time of day. All the way down to Victor. There's Yankee.
United 43 contact tower on 119.62, have a good fleet.
Tower on 119.62 United 43.
Okay, before we contact the tower, I want to kick up the landing lights, get the engines in continuous fire mode, ding the cabin a couple of times. Make sure we have everybody awake back there. We can turn the yaw damper on. We never did do that second stall warning test, did we? Let's do that. There we go. Number 2 stall warning test is fine. It's always good to catch those type of things. We are looking good otherwise. Let's turn on the auto throttle. Arm the auto throttle. Start the clock.
14 heavy, continue Echo, Romeo, Bravo, and then hold short of Tango.
Echo, Romeo, Bravo, hold short of Tango, FedEx 1814.
O'Hare Tower, United 43, ready for departure, runway 22 left.
United 43 wind thus R233 at 8 knots, altimeter is 3015, cleared for takeoff. Runway 22 left, maintain runway heading until above 1,700 feet, then turn left heading 140 to intercept course.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 22 left, maintain runway heading until above 1,700 feet, then left to 140 United 43.
United 43 climb and maintain 1,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 1,000.
Approaching. 2 left.
1,000 feet for our clearance. And 1,000 feet for our pressure setting. No derate on the takeoff.
On runway. 2 left.
Throttle up. Hit toga. Takeoff, go around. Hold. Airspeed alive.
V1. Rotate.
Gear up. VNAV, RNAV, Command A.
Tower United 43 climbing to 1,000 feet.
United 43, good morning. Radar contact. United 43 contact Chicago. United 40.
Departure on
Flaps up.
126.62.
United 43 contact departure on 126.62.
Contact departure on 126.62 United 43.
Flaps 1. Flaps full up.
United 2445 traffic is 5 o'clock 3 miles at 700 feet Airbus. Report them in sight.
Empire 8775, turn further left, heading 320.
320, Empire 8775.
RTO off.
United 2445 have the Airbus in sight. Chicago departure United 1124 is passing 1,800 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Departure United 43 climbing to 17,000 feet.
United 43, good morning. Radar contact. United 43 climb and maintain 17,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet United. Departure United 43 climbing to 17,000 feet.
United 43 radar contact. United
1124 have the traffic.
United 43 radar contact.
Departure United 43 climbing to 17,000 feet.
United 43 radar contact.
Here comes 10,000 feet. We can bust the 250 knot speed limit above 10,000 feet. You can see the automated carrot just kicked us above 300 knots. We can also turn off the landing lights and the runway turn off lights, runway taxi lights.
Departure United 43 climbing to 17,000 feet.
Contact Chicago Center on 120.35.
Off of continuous fire.
Center on 120.35. Take care United 43. Center United 40.
United 43, good morning.
Send altimeter is 3016 United 43.
United 43 radar contact. United 43 climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb and maintain flight level 230 United 43. Center United 43 climbing to flight level 230.
United 43 radar contact.
Center United 43 climbing to flight level 230.
United 43 radar contact.
Let's put the landing gear handle into the off position.
Center United 43 climbing to flight level 230.
United 43 radar contact.
Oh my goodness, I have made a blunder of all blunders. I had mentioned we are live time, live weather, live
United
conditions.
43 contact Chicago Center on 120.12. Have a good morning.
Center on 120.12 United 43.
But I have failed to give a big shout out to Floyds Clouds. The one thing that's not live and I will never go back to is live clouds, because
Center
these
United
clouds are
43
drop
climbing
dead
to
the
flight level
best.
230.
This particular
United 43, good morning. Radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300 United 43.
United 43, climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300 United 43.
Going to 123.75 JetBlue 62115.
Center United 43 climbing to flight level 300.
United 43 radar contact.
I don't believe I'll ever go back to regular clouds. These are Floyds Clouds.
Altimeter setting.
We're above 18,000 feet. Our TCAS is telling us we need to go on to standard pressure.
588, center climb maintain.
Center United 43 climbing to flight level 300.
So there's standard
United
pressure.
43 radar contact.
50. Up to flight level 450, push at 5.
And Floyd, this particular cloud set is called 3 Big Layers. And it is by far my favorite. 3 Big Layers is going to be part of my sim life for a long, long time. And I hope you folks enjoy how incredible this is. And we're looking at them with the sun fairly high in the sky. But if you put the sun low on the horizon and get the diffraction from these clouds, it just is amazing.
Flexjet 588, so direct El Paso.
Direct El Paso, Flexjet 588, thank you.
Kick out the range. Looks like our calculated top of climb is pretty much in line with our planned top of climb. Ground speed 450 knots and climbing. As we gain altitude, that difference between ground speed and indicated speed will increase. .745 Mach right now. Our cost index is 46, which is pretty aggressive. Sometimes I, on my own, set it up to like 85 or so. It's a number between 10 and 100, and the higher the number, the less efficient your airplane is, but the faster you can go. So usually that number is assigned by the airline, and it doesn't change much.
Flight level tree 40. United 548 Chicago Center. Continue.
Flight 588. Just want to verify that you're direct to El Paso VOR and then the airport.
588.
2,000 feet from target, our rate of climb has diminished a little as we get closer to top of climb. The computer is keeping our passengers happy.
Chicago Center German cargo tree heavy is at flight level tree 60, descending flight level tree 10. German cargo tree heavy Chicago Center, continue as planned.
Less than 1,000 feet to top of climb.
United 43 contact Chicago Center on 135.75 enjoy.
Center on 135.75 United 43. Center United 43 climbing to flight level 300.
United 43 good morning. Radar contact.
Let's release the cabin attendants to do their in-flight service. Oh. I think they're going to do their service anyway. We'll turn the seatbelt sign off.
Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United 43 radar contact.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain has turned off his seatbelt sign. We do recommend that you keep them on as we can get unexpected turbulence.
American 756 center climb maintain flight level 290.
290, American 756.
Center United 43 at flight level 300.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying with us. A special thank you and welcome back to our global service customers, Million Milers, 100K and Premier Execs on board. We do appreciate your business. They and Mileage Plus members will receive valuable miles for today's flight. To become a member, you can enroll online at united.com. The captain has asked the flight attendants to remain seated for just a few more moments. Even though you see us getting up to do our duties, we ask that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. When Captain Karski turns off the sign, that will be indication it is safe to move about the cabin. If you're traveling with a small child or infant and the seatbelt sign goes on, they either have to be in their own seat with their seatbelt fastened or held securely on your lap. Please take care when opening overhead compartments, as contents may have shifted during our takeoff. And when seated, always keep your seatbelt fastened. You may now use all approved personal electronic devices. As soon as it is safe for the flight attendants to be up, in all cabins we'll be offering you a beverage service followed by a hot lunch. Our beverage selection is listed in the Hemispheres magazine. In United Economy cabin, beer and wine are complimentary, but there is a charge for other types of alcohol. The only accepted form of payment is a credit card. We accept most major debit and credit cards, as well as the Mileage Plus Explorer Visa card.
Good morning.
Midway through our flight, we'll be offering you a light snack, and approximately 1.5 hours before landing in Tucson, we'll be offering you another hot meal service. On this flight, we have an exciting offer to apply for our Mileage Plus Explorer Visa card. Please ask a flight attendant for an application. We ask that you use the lavatories located in your ticketed cabin, and flight attendants are available should you need direction or assistance, and we thank you in advance for your cooperation. Today's entertainment programming is on demand, and this aircraft is equipped with internet for purchase. To learn more about this service, look at the card in your seat back pocket, the Hemispheres magazine, or turn on your Wi-Fi enabled device. In addition to the installed entertainment system, we have a streaming video service where you can access a selection of movies and TV shows complimentary by using your Wi-Fi enabled laptop or personal device. Just go to www.unitedwifi.com. We'll try now to keep our announcements to a minimum. Go ahead, sit back, relax, enjoy the service that we have planned for you. We do request that you keep your seatbelt fastened around your outermost covering or over your blanket. That way it is visible, and we do not have to disturb you when the seatbelt sign is switched on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. On behalf of all of us at United and the Star Alliance Network, we wish you a pleasant flight.
Do you mind brining me and the captain a cup of coffee? No problem, we'll bring it right up.
Not a problem. Hey, can we get something to drink up here? Okay. Hey, what are the odds you guys could bring us a snack, please? Okay.
Center United 43 radar contact. Center United 43 at flight level 300. United 43 radar contact.
Well, first off, sir, how about you take the plane for a little while, and I'm going to give these good folks watching on the video a little bit of a break. We're going to pause the flight, pause your enjoyment of the flight until we're a little closer to top of descent. So, for us, we're going to enjoy the cruise, but for you folks, we'll see you a little later on.
Frontier Flight 9er 102 tree is passing flight level 210, climbing flight level tree 10.
Well, Well, I brought you back to see something cool. Look at these 3 aircraft here as we are continuing on our... I did not mean to bring you back this early. I just happened to see these 3 guys out here. I thought it was so cool. I fly so often without seeing anyone else. And when I saw these 3 guys, I said, wow, that's something to take note of. Anybody over here? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay, we're going to pause you up once again. We'll bring you back later on. We are still in the cruise. I went ahead and brought you back because I want to start planning our arrival. So let's pull up our charts and get out of Chicago O'Hare.
Delta 2151 Heavy, contact Atlanta
and
Center
go
on
to
127.5.
Orlando. And we'll pull up the charts for Orlando. And if I remember our arrival, we are on the... Oh, goodness. I forget what arrival we were on. The Grinch 3 arrival. Okay, had to remind myself. So we're on the Grinch 3 arrival. Might as well do an arrival brief. So here's what the Grinch 3 looks like. It starts way up here in Georgia. And when we get to Grinch, we want to be between 11,000 and 16,000 feet. Booney. Booney's not our. Oh, Weevil between 9,000 and 14,000 feet. And then we want to be above 8,000 at Dory. And right at 5,000 at Bryce. And our approach is 36 right, ILS to 36 right. Runway 36 right, okay. Add to route, runway 36 right. Transitions at ZJX. Yep, that's good. And the approach is the ILS to 36 right. Great. So what we're looking for here is our
Atlanta Center Delta 2081 flight level 350.
Airport elevation is 96 feet. Touchdown zone is 92 feet. ILS frequency is 005 degrees at 110.7. So let's move our course to 005 degrees.
Center United 43 at flight level 300.
And
United 43 radar
110.7
contact.
on the frequency.
Gonna get after and like I say, we're Alpha, gonna be for Charlie, we're maintaining flight level 430.
X-ray Alpha, Juliet, Victor Charlie, at 7 reset transponder, squawk 6745.
Resetting transponder 6745.
And 100 feet on the landing altitude.
Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United 43 radar contact.
So let's pull up the taxi chart.
United 43 radar contact.
Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United 43 radar contact.
Oh, charts for Orlando. Taxi. So we're going to be coming into runway 36 right, which is way over here. 36 right. And we don't know our arrival gate yet, but we're going to be aiming for the high-speed off-ramp at B6, and then we'll be directed to a terminal from there. So it'll be B6, B5 or B6, or around Charlie to Juliet, or Charlie to Foxtrot for 2 or 4. So we'll hope for airside 1 or 3, but it could be 2 or 4. And that is our approach brief. The Grinch 3 and our taxi brief. Between 11,000 and 16,000 at Grinch. That's our target initially. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to put you back on pause as we continue our cruise.
International.
Expect the GRNCH-3 arrival with this JX transition for the ILS approach to runway 36 right United 43.
United 43 contact Jacksonville Center on 132.3, good day.
Center on 132.3 United 43.
I brought you back because we just got our expected arrival.
Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United 43 good morning. Radar contact.
Just as we expected, we got the Grinch 3 arrival with the ZJX transition for the ILS approach to runway 36 right. So that's exactly what we were expecting. And it
Delta
came
574, turn right heading 330, vectors for traffic, expect direct range show.
As it should.
Okay, right turn 330, Delta 574.
Let's move the brakes to auto brake maximum for landing.
Center United 43 at flight level.
Let's arm
United
the
43
speed brakes.
radar contact. Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United 43 radar contact.
Let's move the engine switches
United 43
back to the continuous
United
fire
43 radar
position.
contact.
Center United 43 at flight.
United 43 radar contact.
Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United.
And let's do a descent checklist.
United 43 radar contact.
Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United 43 radar
Descent
contact.
checklist. Pressurization.
Set.
Recall.
Check.
Auto brake.
Set.
Landing data.
Okay, landing data. That's something we have not done yet. Let's work on the landing data.
Jacksonville Center Delta
Landing data.
2081 flight level tree 60. Delta 2081 Jacksonville Center. Continue as planned.
Let's land with 40 degrees flaps at 138.
Landing data.
40 at 138. 110.7 on the radio, 5 degrees in the course. That's set. Let's add in
landing data.
Our altitude at the field is
maintain flight level 250. Hawk 250, Roger, American, NASA 56.
Landing data.
490. Okay. Landing elevation was 94, wasn't it?
Landing data.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Landing data.
Elevation at the airport was 96.
Landing data.
So we want to put this at 96, 496. I'm sorry, 296. 296. 296 for our barrow setting, and that's our decision height.
Landing data.
296 is what we're looking for.
Traffic alert. 9 o'clock, less than 1
right
mile
there.
flight level tree.
Check.
Approach briefing.
Completed.
Checklist complete.
Okay, approach checklist is complete. We have our 40 flaps, 138 airspeed, and our decision height references in our primary display. Ooh, what's going on with our course dial here? That's not good. Our course dial is running amok. Wow, what's happening here? I've never seen that happen
United 43
before.
descend via the GRNCH-3 arrival with the ZJX transition to 8,000 feet. Altimeter is 3014 at Orlando International.
Should
Descend
be at
via
5.
the GRNCH-3 arrival with this JX transition to 8,000 feet. Altimeter is 3014 for United 43.
I've never seen the course dial move on its own like that. Descend via the Grinch 3. Okay, we've been given our descent.
Allegiant 42255, contact Jacksonville Center on 125.75.
So the Grinch 3.
Good day.
And our target was between 11 and 16,000. Actually, that's bugs. Grinch is not defined, but bugs is 11 to 16,000. So let's bring us down to 11,000. And I want to stay as high as possible for as long as possible because we travel faster at a higher altitude. So we're going to set the altitude for 11,000, which is the low limit of our procedure. And then, being in VNAV or vertical navigation, we're going to let the airplane decide the best rate and angle for our descent. So it'll be a smooth descent down
United
for our
43
passengers.
Contact Jacksonville Center on 133.7. Enjoy your morning.
Center on 133.7 United 43. Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United 43, good morning. Radar contact. Altimeter is 3023.
Altimeter is 3023 United 43.
3023 is the local altimeter setting when we drop below 18,000 feet. 30, so we'll go ahead and set it in right now. Great, and we are ready for top of descent.
Spirit Wings 1150 contact Jacksonville Center on 125.905. Good day.
Delta 574, descend maintain flight level 280.
Okay, we're leaving 38 for 280 Delta 574.
Jacksonville Center, Delta 1356, flight level 340. Delta 1356, Jacksonville Center, continue as planned.
$130 miles to Grinch.
X-ray Alpha, Juliet Victor Charlie, radar contact 25 miles southeast of Atuda.
Juliet Victor Charlie.
Here comes top of descent.
Jacksonville Center Spirit Wings, 1150 flight level tree, 60. Spirit Wings, 1150 Jacksonville Center, continue as planned. Jacksonville Center Frontier Flight 9er, 102 tree, flight level tree 70.
Ground speed of 460 knots. 7.7 Mach, which is 0.77 Mach. Just a little bit below the 0.78 maximum sustained Mach the airplane is rated for. So we've got a good cost index helping us out, a high cost index helping us out. 102 miles to Greenwich.
Hannah, flight level 240.
Now to 340 and Hannah is 240, no shot, 19 miles.
And top of descent should be coming in before the 40-mile mark. We've done our descent checklist. At 18,000 feet, we'll go on to standard pressure. At 10,000 feet, we'll go into sterile cockpit mode. Only aviation and flight-related conversations are allowed. We'll also turn on the landing lights, taxi lights, make sure our service is concluded and our seatbelts are fastened.
Going to 132.3, Delta 1356.
And set up for the big arrival.
United 43 contact Jacksonville Center on 13.3 enjoy.
Center on 132.3 United 43. Center United 43 at flight level 300.
Contact Jacksonville Center on 134.4. Have a good morning.
Altimeter is 3021 Center on 134.4 United 43. Center United 43 at flight level 300.
United 43 good morning. Radar contact. Altimeter is 3019.
Altimeter is 3019 United 43.
Well, went from 3023 to 3022 and now 3019er, so the pressure is slowly dropping. Of course, above 18,000 feet, we're all at standard pressure, 29.92. Top of descent is getting closer.
Looks like we're in for a bumpy ride. We're going to go ahead and suspend the cabin service. Can you make sure everyone's seated with their seatbelts on?
We're on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain has switched on the seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt. Thank you.
Top of descent in 20 miles.
Jacksonville Center, Southwest 2420 is passing flight level 270, climbing flight level 350. Southwest 2420, Jacksonville Center, continue as planned.
Just a little more than 10 miles to top of descent. We might get a low fuel quantity warning, and that will be because our center tanks will run out of fuel. But of course we've got fuel in the wings, so we'll just turn off the center fuel tank pumps when we run out of fuel on the centerline tank. Remember, there's plenty of fuel.
American 70, subject Ebony.
We added a little extra for Grandma, you remember. So, no problem with fuel. About 5 miles till top of descent, and again, we're going to let the airplane manage the descent.
Jacksonville Center, Allegiant 491, tree flight level 340.
You'll see a rate of descent bar come up on the right side of the right display, and the little caret, the little diamond, should indicate our how we are tracking with the calculated computer rate of descent. There it is. And the RNP and ANP numbers are used in RNAV, in an RNAV approach. And the smaller those numbers are, it tells the crew that the RNAV system is, how accurate the RNAV system is. You really want the small numbers when you're doing an RNAV approach. Of course, RNAV approach is not receiving any signals from the ground. It's all based on the internal reference system inside the aircraft. So it's certainly not as precise as an ILS as we're going to be using.
Going to 133.7, United 145 tree.
And with the sound of those double chimes, our flight's be coming to an end. Please prepare for landing. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened about you. Your tray table and seat back are in the upright and locked position. All video screens, head and footrests need to be stowed at this time. For those of you in Polaris First and Polaris Business, please press and hold your green airplane button on your control panel to bring your seat to its proper landing position. Also in Polaris First, secure your shoulder strap after fastening your seatbelt. All large personal electronic devices, such as laptops, must be turned off and be put away. You may continue to use your small, lightweight electronic devices, but these must be unplugged, switched to airplane mode, and secured. Please have a look around the airplane to refresh your memory of the location of your nearest emergency exits, keeping in mind your closest one may be behind you. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival and be seated in your jump seats. We'll be on the ground shortly.
Delta 574 in the transition, maintain 260 knots.
260 knots in the transition, Delta 574.
United 43 contact Jacksonville Center on 133.32. Enjoy your morning.
Center on 133.32 United 43. Center United 43 descending to 8,000 feet.
United 43, good morning. Radar contact. Altimeter is 3020.
Altimeter is 3020 United 43.
She said descending 8,000. The bottom of Bugs is 11,000. So that's what we have set for right now. And then we'll be allowed down to 9,000 at Wooville. And the hard altitude is 7,000 at Bunny. So I'm going to go ahead and set in 7,000, our hard altitude. We are still exactly on the computer profile as indicated by the magenta diamond. Here comes Grinch 16 miles away, which is the start of our procedure. And we're passing through some visible moisture, so I'm going to kick on the wing anti-ice and the engine anti-ice for right now.
Delta 459er, contact Jacksonville Center on 127.8. Good day. for Delta 459er.
Been there, 6 connects down on 135.7.
135.7, Air 6.
1,000 feet till we go into standard pressure. Standard pressure, please.
Altimeter setting.
I think, 3022, I think was our last update on the altimeter. Sometimes that RAAS system gets very sensitive about the altimeter setting. On an ILS approach, when you're tracking a signal from the ground, actually the altimeter setting is really not that critical.
Jacksonville Center Delta 1089er Heavy, flight level tree 50. Delta 1089er Heavy, Jacksonville Center, continue as planned. Jacksonville Center Cessna November 407 Charlie Victor is passing 1,800 feet, climbing 2,100 feet. Cessna November 407 Charlie Victor Jacksonville Center QNH 29.901 continue as planned.
Blalock is next. And we're on runway 36 right, so we need to follow Wooville between 9,000 and 14,000. Bunny, the 7,000 is for Bunny, so we should be at 9,000 here, as we're aiming for the northbound runways, north pointed runways.
Center on 134.0. Good day.
And after Wooville comes Harib above 8,000, and then a hard altitude of 5,000 at Bryce. So let's put in the 5,000 altitude at Bryce. We're still on profile.
United 43 contact Orlando approach on 134.05. Enjoy.
Approach on 134.05 United 43.
285, we want to be below, at or below 250.
Approach United
actually
43
at
descending
250
to 8,000
at
feet.
10,000 feet.
United 43, good morning. Radar contact. Continue descent via the GRNCH-3 arrival for the ILS approach to runway 36 right at Orlando International.
There's the constraint at Wooville.
Continue descent via the GRNCH-3 arrival for the ILS approach to runway 36 right United 43.
We've got a decel message on our profile, but I don't want to add spoilers. What I'd like to do is go ahead and add our first stage of flaps. So give me flaps 1, please. And that'll get us down to 250 knots. And then we can continue the descent. You can see that temporarily threw us off of our profile.
American 497 is descending via the Eagle, landing on 8 out of 9.
American 4 at 97.
That should come back into line.
Runway 8.
Runway 8. 497.
As this number gets smaller, we will re-engage our computer calculated descent rate as that number approaches 0. Here comes 10,000 feet. Sterile cockpit. Runway turn-off lights, taxi lights, landing lights, engines are in continuous. Above 8,000 at Dory is a constraint in our profile, and of course the aircraft knows that. I'll take flaps 2. Dory is 2 miles away, and we should be at or above 8,000 at Dory. So the aircraft is starting to level out.
United 43 turn left heading 173 vectors to the IR.
Heading 173 vectors to the IR. Approach
United 43 radar contact.
Approach United 43 descending to 5,000 feet.
We're starting
United
to get
43 radar contact.
We're starting to get vectors. So when you get vectors, all that navigation planning that you did goes right out the window, and you just follow what the controller says. Even though you're under someone else's control, you want to monitor where you are, because if you lose radio contact,
clear.
You still want to be able to navigate.
108 Bravo Kilo, Conic approach 120.4.
20.4, one straight Bravo Kilo.
So we're on radar vectors now. We want to monitor our location. Hard altitude of 5,000 at Bryce. We're not actually going to be at Bryce because we're on radar vectors, but you can see the planned routing would have given us a nice gentle turn onto final, but we don't have the benefit of the plan because we're on the radar vector. That's okay. I trust our controller. We're right on our vertical profile. Probably see the airport out our right window. Yep, there's the airport. We're on an we're on a downwind. Here are the 4 terminal areas. In my own opinion, I kind of wish we were not on radar vectors and we were following our descent. But it is what it is. And because we're passing Bryce and we're above 5,000 feet, you'll notice how we are slightly leaving our computer calculated descent path. Our only hope is to get a nice controller that'll turn us toward the runway. Let's go flaps 3. Or 15, or 5 actually. 5 degrees. It's a position 3, but it's 5 degrees. And I'm going to go gear down. Hard altitude of 3,000 feet at Silky, so let's go down to 3,000 feet.
In 439, say speed.
439 is 225.
I'll take flaps 10.
United United 43 altimeter is 3013 at Orlando International. Altimeter is 3013 at Orlando International. Contact tower on 118.45. Enjoy your morning.
Fly heading 034 cleared for ILS approach to runway 36 right. Altimeter is 3013 tower on 118.45 United 43.
034.
Tower United 43 inbound for ILS approach runway 36 right.
United 43 good morning. Radar contact. Continue ILS to runway 36 right call when established on final.
Continue ILS to runway 36 right will call when established on final. United 43.
Sector 1914, contact departure.
Oh, departure, have a good night.
We got a problem. Our radios are not on the correct frequency. How did that happen? We ought to be on approach 36 right. We ought to be at 110.7 and we're not. I don't know how the radios got messed up. $110.7. Okay, now let's go into VOR lock and approach. Command B autopilot. This should be set to 5. Course needle should be set to 5. Oh. These course styles should be set to 5. Why these aren't working.
American 10905, turn next taxiway.
Okay, we're at 5,000 feet. Let's have another notch of flaps.
Star 8177 heavy, left turn on a Bravo short, Lima.
A4, left turn on Bravo, thanks.
American 10905, turn next taxiway. American 10905, contact ground on 126.4.
Well, autopilot off. I don't know how we got so messed up. Give me full flaps.
United 43 wings are 05 to at 13 knots, clear to land runway 36 right.
Sync rate.
Clear to land runway 36 right. United 43.
Approaching 36 right.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Pull up. Pull up.
Well, no go round this
Pull
time.
Up. Pull up. Pull up.
Star 8177 heavy, attack with Tango, cross 25 right.
Pull up.
Cross 25
Sync
left,
rate.
taxi out for depart.
Roger, Tango crossing from
Long landing. Long landing.
Yeah, long landing.
81776.
30, 20, 10.
United 43 exit runway when able.
Feet remaining. 2,000 feet remaining.
Well, you never want to execute a landing like that, that's for sure.
1,000 feet remaining. 500 feet remaining.
Talk about using all the runway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Orlando. The local time is 11:50 a.m. and it's currently about 66 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the air traffic comes to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins and items shipped with you during your flight. If this is your final destination, thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth completion of your journey.
Orlando ground Speedbird 4 tree taxi to the gate.
Speedbird 4 tree taxi to gate Alpha 9er via taxiway Bravo Bravo 4.
Taxiing to gate Alpha 9er via taxiway Bravo Bravo for Speedbird 4 tree.
Taxi ribbon is on. Okay, first officer went ahead and handled the after landing flow. So landing light should have been off. Continuous fire off. APU should be running, which it is.
Orlando ground Silver Wings tree taxi to parking. Silver Wings tree taxi to General Aviation parking via taxiway November Tree November Foxtrot cross runway 17 right Foxtrot Charlie Foxtrot Echo cross runway Tree 6 right Echo cross runway Tree 6 left Echo Alpha. Taxiing to General Aviation parking via taxiway November Tree November Foxtrot cross runway 17 right Foxtrot Charlie Foxtrot Echo cross runway Tree 6 right Echo cross runway Tree 6 left Echo Alpha Silver Wings Tree.
And the reason I'm following the default taxi instructions from the default ATC is that this way I'll have a gate that's clear, or should be clear, and I'll also have a marshaller. And maybe even a wing walker. Okay, you got me going this way. Is there a gate over
Ground
here?
Ground Delta 1545, we're at 1 south. We have X-ray, and we'll be de-icing at 6 south.
Delta 1545, Lima to de-icing.
Lima's de-ice, Delta 1545.
Ah, here comes the jet bridge. Cool. Parking brake on. And on the APU. And engine cutoff. Seatbelt sign off. Get these fine folks on their way. And we'll open up the cabin doors. Open up the cargo doors. Wheel chocks are set. We'll request ground power. We will okay. Is the jetway attached? Jetway is attached. Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me deplane. We'll request the loaders. And hopefully we are deboarding now. We're on APU. Is the ground power connected? Ground power is connected. We can come off of the APU. Probe heat off. Window heat off. Hydraulics off. Air conditioning packs off. Recirc fans off. All these lights can come off. Fuel pumps off. Yaw damper can come off. And we're looking pretty good. ILS can come off. Transponder TCAS system can go to standby. And I believe that will, let's do a secured after landing shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps.
Off.
Probe heat.
Off.
Hydraulic panel.
Set.
Flaps.
Up.
Parking brake.
Set.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Weather radar.
Off.
Checklist complete.
Okay. Do a secure flow. And we are ready to go on ground power. Kill the APU. Oh. And Christy will wish you a good day. Thanks for joining me, folks. Have a great day.